In this video, I'm going to set some patches for the Moog Matriarch. The patches that I'm doing, they're coming directly from moogmusic.com, and it's a download that's called the Matriarch Exploration Patchbook, so you can download those and check them out in good detail. And this patch is called Robot Destruction. So let's go to our ARP Sequence section first, and it looks like it has the rate, the speed of the ARP, right at 12 o'clock. We already have, we'll go and do ARP selected there in 1, and the order will be forward, and they have it in octave bank 1. Let's turn up the rate on the modulation section, and we're going to select this waveform here, and the pitch amount is down to nothing. And the pitch modulation assign is right in the middle, so it's for everything. And there's a bit of a cutoff amount, and the pulse width amount is turned right off. I then have in this mult, I don't really use anything in this utility section or this mult, so everything's just kind of zeroed out. We'll do that. And then I have my oscillators, and it looks like they're all going to be set to 8. So we have that set there. Looks like the frequencies will all be right in the middle. And then for waveforms, we're going to have a saw selected there for all 4. And now in the mixer section, there's just a little bit of noise. And it looks like all of the oscillators, the volumes will be set right at 12 o'clock. And the cutoff amount is going to be here with a bit of resonance on both. Actually, a bit of resonance on the first filter, and then the second resonance is right off. And this is going to be done in series. So it's going to be into a high pass and then into a low pass. And so the high pass will have the resonance, the low pass will not. The spacing is right back here, and the envelope amount, so how much of the envelope generator, there's a bit of that in there, and the keyboard tracking is off, so it doesn't matter where I play on the keyboard, it won't affect the filter. Now let's take a look at the second utility section, and we'll just do the knobs first and come back to the patches. So we're going to go right into the middle with the attenuator, and then the LFO rate, we're going to bring that down here, and we'll come back with the patches later. Now let's set the filter envelope, and it looks like it's up here for the attack, and the decay is sort of where it was, and then the release is pulled back a bit from the previous patch. And now the sustain is going to be right about there. We can play with that if we want to. Once we get the sound going. And now we'll look at the amp envelope. So the attack is right in the middle. The decay is pulled back a bit, and the release is right there, and the sustain is at about the same as the envelope. If I go to my stereo delay, I'm going to have some patches for this later, but we're going to go and bring back the time. We're going to go into the negative for the spacing, and the feedback will be right about here, and the mix is right down the middle. And next we'll take a look at how it voices the oscillator. So we're going to do split in the middle. The paraphony will be over to 4, and the multi-trigger is selected. So let's take care of those patches. First, it looks like just a few patches for this one. So let's go to the stereo delay input of time 2. And I'm going to plug that into just one of the mults here. And the other mult is going to go over into time 1. There we go. And then what will be driving the time of 1 and 2 on the stereo delay is going to be the attenuator. So we'll go output from the attenuator into a mult, and this will now affect both time in on 1 and 2. And now I'm going to go and take the triangle out from the LFO rate, and that's going to go into the attenuator. So now it's going to have the rate's going to change how that voice is. Yeah, so that's the patch. Let's give this a listen and see what it sounds like. Yeah, it's got a real great sound to it. Let's go and take a look at the playing instructions for it. So it says raise the mod wheel all the way up. So let's do that. And now we're going to go and take the LFO rate. And it has an ARP selected for the ARP Sequence section. So let's just hear how that sounds. We're going to go and do just the play. And I press the hold, so it's going to hold it down now. I like how that sounds. See what happens when I turn up the resonance on that low pass filter. Get that extra sound in there. I'm gonna increase. So now that's the filter. So I can change the amount that that's going to affect it here. So how much of this section is changing the way that the filter is responding. And this LFO rate is affecting the attenuator, which is then affecting the delay time. And get some low notes. See that modulation rate is going to affect it because I have my modulation wheel all the way up. Look how that sounds. Just a little bit of pitch amount. And we'll do a stop on the ARP. And bring back that feedback. Yeah, so that is the Robot Destruction. And you can go to moogmusic.com. And if you go there, there's a download section. And inside of there, you'll find the Matriarch Exploration Patchbook. And yeah, definitely a really fun way to start thinking about what analog synthesis is and different ways to build patches. Thanks for watching my video.